Hello and welcome. This is an all levels hatha practice to help us unwind after those long days of sitting, helping to relieve tension through the neck and shoulders. As always, as you move through your practice today, make sure that you're going at your own pace. It should be a comfortable and gentle stretch, no pulling, no pain. So make sure to go to an appropriate depth for you. Let's begin by letting the eyes closed or come to rest softly on a focal point. Notice your breath. As you breathe, allow the breath to drop into the belly so that as you inhale, belly expands. Exhale, belly softens. Taking a few more belly breaths at your own pace. Allow the spine to get a little taller, pushing the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Maybe even picking up the shoulders, rolling them down the back and allowing them to soften. Keep breathing. Inhale, raise your arms overhead. Squeeze your shoulders on your back to keep your ears away from your shoulder tops. Exhale, arms come back down. Just try to keep this breath nice and steady. 2 more. Inhale, reach up. Squeezing those shoulder blades on the back. Exhale, nice and slow, come down. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, come all the way down. Let's stick with those shoulder rolls, rolling a couple times, moving backwards. Swimming one at a time. Now doing both. Right. We're going to reach both arms out wide like a T. We're going to slide over to the right. Right hand is going to come down. Left arm reaching up overhead. These left ribs pushing out to the side. And we want to make sure on this right side the shoulder doesn't jam up into our ear. So we're going to bend at the elbow as we lean over. Breathing deeply, allow the side body to open. Feeling all those spaces between the ribs. Nice big inhale back up through center. Slide over to the left. Left hand comes down. Right hand pushing up and over. Right ribs out to the side. Breathe in deeply. Notice how my left elbow is deeply bent, keeping the shoulder away from my ears. Breathe into the side body. Notice how it feels here. Nice big inhale up through center. Exhale, let's drop those arms down. Switch the direction of your legs. So we're going to bring the other leg in front of the other. This might feel slightly different. We're going to warm up our spine now. So moving from the belly button, we're going to draw circles. You'll begin by leaning all the way forward, roll out to one side. Round the back and shoulders and chin as you come through the back body. And coming back through front, try to keep your chin in towards the chest. Notice how big you can make your circles. Good, and let's go the other way as well. Notice how the second side may feel different. Don't forget to really lean back as you're falling backwards. Good. Coming back up in through center. Let's tuck the chin in, rounding it down towards the chest. We'll move with our own breath, but as you inhale, we're going to bring right ear to right shoulder. Exhale, chin comes back down through center. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. Keep going. Going nice and slow, making sure not to force the neck. And keep that nice steady belly breathing. One more breath on each side here. As you exhale, come into center, staying here. On your next inhale, lifting the chin back up. Good. Let's pick up our right arm up towards the ceiling. Tuck your chin in ever so slightly, bending at the right elbow, reaching behind your neck. Left hand coming in to pull the elbow, not just into the midline, but pushing behind the body as well. Really open up that back plane. Keeping the spine long here, but the shoulders drop down towards the hips. Nice big inhale, straighten up both arms, switching sides, bending through the left elbow. Right hand reaches across and pulls slightly behind. Breathing. Nice big inhale, reach tall. Exhale, bring the arms down, reaching the hands behind you, fingertips pointing back. And just coming so you're on a little bit of an incline, can tell you lean back a little. We're going to let our legs come nice and long in front of us. Maybe windshield wiper the feet slightly. Good. Flexing your toes, so you're going to curl your toes back towards your shin, leaning into your hands, drive your heels down into the floor, squeeze through the belly button, lift and squeeze. Hold for one more breath. Exhale, come down. Leave the seat down, but keep the chin and chest lifted high. Take a few breaths here. Letting the breastbone drop out and the chin come to normal. Let's come to meet on hands and knees. So coming to bring some space in between the knees and hands coming under the shoulders, stacking in a tabletop formation. Let's open the spine up with the breath. So as we inhale, we're going to drop belly button and breastbone down to the mat, lifting the chin. Exhale, chin tucks in, pushing into the palms, spread the shoulder blades apart, let the back round. Inhale, drop through the belly. Exhale, round over. Moving with your own breath, try to keep nice steady belly breath. Noticing how the spine feels. Good. Coming back into neutral. We're going to take our hands and turn them back towards our own knees. And we want to try to keep the eyes of the elbows pointing in the center of the room. If you feel this through the front of your forearms here, stay here. If you need a little extra pull, you can start to lean back. It may feel different side to side, just notice. This can be a sensitive stretch, so make sure to keep breathing. Breath is always the key to how the posture is sitting in our body. When we are in pain, we tend to brace our breath. So if you can't sit there and take a nice deep breath, it's probably too deep. Okay, coming back up very carefully. We're going to come to lean on the back sides of our hands. This side is even more sensitive. Trying to straighten through the elbows once again, this time coming through the back side of the arm. Especially if you're on a computer or Anyone who's working with their hands a great deal, these stretches will be quite important. Good. Let's come to sit up on our knees just for a second. Shake your wrists out. Do some circles with them. Go the other way as well. Switch it up. Good. Okay, coming back into our all fours. We're going to do some movement with twist. So we will start moving to the right. You're going to lean a little more into the left side as you inhale, reaching up, squeezing your shoulder behind you, twisting open to the side. As you exhale, coming down, and just a slight counter twist, just enough that my chest and shoulders reach the other way. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, coming through. Moving with your own breath. Let that breath allow the movement to flow through the body. This time, as we come forward, we're going to scoop this right arm all the way under, coming to lay on the outside of the arm, tipping the forehead to the floor. The left hand can either reach for the floor above you, or if it feels better, reaching your hand to the opposite hip. Take a few breaths here, drop into the belly. Exhale fully. Bringing the left hand back down to the mat, push in it, bring yourself back up through hands and knees, coming to do our twists on the other side. As you inhale, lift left hand. Exhale, twist deeply. Moving with your own breath, noticing how it may feel different on this side. One more, nice and tall. And on this exhale, threading, left hand under, coming to lay on the outside of the arm, forehead to the floor, right hand down on the mat, or reaching for opposite hip. Let your breath settle. Nice steady breaths all the way into the belly. And then let's come to push ourselves back onto hands and knees. We're going to bring our elbows down to come under the shoulders. Hands are going to grip into the mat in front of us. Tuck the chin in, letting the neck come down nice and long. Toes tuck in, send the hips up and back as we bring the ears in between the long bones of the arm, the forehead to the floor. Deep bend through the knees. Really push the elbows into the mat. Squeeze the shoulders on the back, allowing the shoulders to open. Knees coming down to the floor. And sitting the hips back, pushing into the elbows. Not quite a child's pose. Letting the breastbone pull down towards the floor as the hips stay high. Squeeze the fingers into the mat, the elbows still pushing into you, helping to open the shoulders. Inhale, really grip through the fingers, start to push your elbows down into the floor to lift your shoulders back up and over your elbows, letting the belly drop down. Breastbone lifts, chin lifts. Small back bend here. Breathe deeply. Squeeze those elbows down and away from the ears. Good. Toes tuck under. We're going to grip into our forearms. We're going to push our hips up and back, lifting our arms up into a downwards facing dog. You can pedal your feet out one at a time. Bringing both feet down to the floor, both knees down to the floor, toenails on the mat, knees nice and wide. Sip your hips down and back. Chin, chest, forehead, all down towards the floor, arms long. Breathe into the belly. Letting your breath settle here. Breathing into the resistance through the hips. Allowing it to soften with the breath. Slowly walking your hands closer to your body, pushing yourself back up. And we'll come to lay on our backs. Let's begin by keeping a bend in the knees so that the soles of the feet are on the floor. Tucking our shoulders underneath us to keep the chest open. Walking your feet as wide as your mat or wider than your hips. Let's reach our arms out like a T. Inhale, let the belly rise. Exhale, dropping your knees down to the right. Inhale to come back up through center. Exhale to the other side, continuing with your own breath at your own pace. Notice how it feels as you slowly twist from one side to the other. Coming into the last few on either side here. Good. Coming in, curling both knees in towards the chest. Hands reach up for the shins. Squeeze your legs in towards your body. Can rock gently side to side if it feels good. Tucking the chin in slightly to keep a more neutral curve through the neck instead of allowing the neck to compress. Good. Let's bring both feet down to the floor, arms coming wide again. And we'll walk both feet over to the left side of the mat. Pushing into your feet, lift your bum right up, coming to lay on the right hip, both knees falling to the right. So as you twist, we want to make sure both shoulders stay flat on the mat. You can choose to keep your nose up towards the ceiling, or you can turn to look at the left hand. Keep breathing deeply through the belly here. On your next inhale, nose and knees back up through center. Exhale to let everything go. Legs over to the right side of the mat, pushing in to lift the bum and hips up, rolling onto the left hip as the knees fall to the left. Chin in neutral, or looking over to the right hand. Letting yourself relax into this twisted shape here. Nice big inhale up through center, nose and knees. Exhale to let the tension go. Let's let the legs come long. Bringing the arms down by the side. Let's just end with a little bit of movement with our breath. So as you inhale, reaching hands up towards the ceiling. Exhale, we're going to drop them overhead. Continue that movement with your breath. Inhale, arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, thumbs back towards the floor. Notice the quality of movement through the arms. The goal is to let the breath pull the movement, right? Slowing our movements down, going with our own rhythm. This time leaving your arms up towards the ceiling, and let's open wide. Same idea, exhale, back of the hands coming down. Inhale up towards the center. Making this the last one as you exhale, letting the arms stay at the side. You can stay here, or you can bring your hands to belly, or hands just to rest beside you, letting the eyes focus on something and soften or allowing them to close. As you lay here, come back to your breath. Letting your feet be heavy. Legs long. The muscles of your glutes and your hips soften. The belly move freely with air. Feeling your back body fully supported. Arms heavy by your side. Muscles of the face soft. Feel free to stay here as long as feels good. When you're ready, gently taking a bend through your knees, coming to roll to a side. And eventually coming back up to sit. Thank you for joining me for practice today. Namaste.